Hey everybody, welcome back. This is another episode of Two Country Boys in Cali. Um, I'm gonna keep it out. Appreciate everybody yet again listening for the positive feedback of our most recent episode. Seemed like you guys like the music things. Quentin, everybody was talking well about this. So want to get that
Yeah,
out. Appreciate everybody. Keep subscribing. For everybody who listens on Apple Music, which I see the streams, make sure you guys like it, subscribe to it, comment it, so we can get on the major page and keep boosting up and keep these streams going. But today's episode, we're gonna reach out and talk about, and I'm gonna let Quentin start this out and get more detail into it. But the NBA went on strike. I'm gonna call it strike because they're like everybody's putting different names, but they saying it's called strike due to the shooting of
hmm
Jacob Blake. So it's not the best things, but you want to go into that, Quinn, and just start on that.
yeah, for sure, man. Recently, it was a couple of days ago that Jacob Blake was shot in the back 7 times. Guess he was over there trying to break up an incident, ended up getting into it, police, and ended up walking to his car with his kids are in, and ended up shooting in the back. So, which caused a crazy uproar. We just went through this with George Floyd, and of course Breonna Taylor with this police brutality of killing blacks. So NBA got tired of it, man, and they started basically. Well, no, of course, it happened in Milwaukee, and the Bucks initially started the whole thing. One of Pacific George Hill said, I'm not playing. We get sick of this. Um, they wanted to boycott the game, which was suddenly happening, and then it kind of ricocheted throughout the rest of the league. And of course, MLB and the WNBA. I think a couple of hockey teams also boycotted too. It just showed that we're tired. We just as a people getting tired of getting frustrated, and they just want to do anything to help. And I think it was definitely alarming just to show because everything pretty much stopped with it. Everybody was talking about it. Social media. Everybody was talking about this boycott. It was just one day, and I was saying, imagine if they boycott the whole season or everybody sits together, how much powerful that is, man. And I salute them, bro. I salute players, salute Bron, salute George Hill for at least going through with it for that day and just show how much power they do have, man. They have a lot of power over the culture, over everything. Of course, it's a political season. It's important to vote and go all through that. So everything is really heated, escalated. It's like it's a lot of stuff going on right now. 2020 has been pretty rough for everybody, but this, with these continuing police shootings and it's really causing an uproar, man. It's going to continue to happen. It's still going to continue to get worse. It'll continue to progress to other people getting hurt. You got people going at each other, neck every single day. So it's been rough, man. I've been kind of trying to take a break from it, but you really can't ignore it because it's just like it's voting season. So everything. I feel like everything's escalated up. The playoffs and I was telling this Ashton like the thing they was talking about was they said if we do capture the playoffs, what y'all gonna do? Y'all just gonna go home with your wives and not do nothing? That's what Jaylen Brown was talking about. Jaylen Brown was like, "Yo, if we gonna quit the season, we need to be in the trenches, in the community, and doing things like that." So that's the thing. Like I think the platform of them being in the playoffs, everybody watching the playoffs, they can get their message heard more. But at the same time, the teachers on whatever they think is working. I salute them. I never disagree with people trying to make change.
Yeah. And I also too want to make sure because I don't want to forget about the MLS also set out games too as
Mm-hmm.
well, and then also too Naomi Osaka, she withdrew from her tennis tournament that she was in that she was pretty much poised to win. For everyone know, that's like the next young black female superstar tennis player. So she drew. That's like tennis. That's different money. If you know if you, I mean, don't get it wrong, football, basketball players, a lot of those guys, man, they make some money. But tennis internationally is a billion, multi-billion-dollar industry, man. Like those international sports just carry different money. To see their next budding star protesting was there, and of course, if everybody know her um, significant other is Corday, the rapper, who kind of is very outspoken too. So he's going and he's doing a lot of things too. And then on top of the MLS, they say that's the fastest growing sport in America. So I mean, and then when the other stuff was going on, the other protests, the international, like Manchester United and the other bigger football, what we'll consider association football. So the soccer players over there were protesting, and that was huge. So they were the first. I think they were the first league to start doing that. The soccer players, and then everybody else came afterwards. So just to see them putting a stoppage at work, like you said, that's billions of dollars that was lost in TV and ad and commercial time. And just like you said, Jaylen Brown, and I was also watching on Spectrum, former NBA player Shannon Fry was talking about, even before all this happened, he was trying to reach out to a lot of them and say, hey, man, I know what y'all guys are doing. Let's kind of us, the older guys, as well as us, let's all trying to come up with something. A lot of them had, and he even said he mentioned and talked to it. A lot of them, the importance of everybody collectively putting their names on something on the back of their names, on the back of their jersey. And we had, and I mean that's like you said, that's a thing that could be, kind of dictated. Who what. No, there's no blame game on it, but that it should have been unilaterally everything. Like there should have been everything should have been 100% when it came to that the first time, as well as this. I am in agreement of striking though, especially for causes that you believe in, taking in from things. But just like Jaylen Brown said, like there has to be something to be done besides just the work stoppage. And currently, right now in Washington D.C., there is the march that is going on, which is a very important thing too. A lot of people are marching on a lot of the social injustices in D.C., and I do think it's a time and a place for that. But like, I really want to see like these athletes, man, really start utilizing their platforms to do, but because like literally everybody has something Black Lives Matter, man, in some form of entertainment and content based right now. I mean, it's the trendy thing, It's like I'm getting a lot of calls and a lot of assistance. I feel like I'm getting too much support right now from shit just because everybody's trying to create the next black, vocal person, or make sure athletes and a lot of people are trying to be utilized and be able to talk to. So I mean, because I was like, somebody was talking to me about trying to set up this MMA fighter, white MMA fighter, about talking on their podcast about some shit. I was like, is this the trend? Is this just gonna be a trend, or is this a real social economic change? Because like you said, election season is coming up. A lot of these things are coming up, but I feel like when it comes to all of these sports, like outside of the stoppage and outside of talking about it, what could these guys do? Um, we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it, but Drew Holiday, when they were still in there, he gave up the rest of his salary, just to donate, to put into, these justice funds and this economic disparity. Is that something that you would see that makes sense for you, Quentin, that need to be done? What's in your ideal should be done? I mean, besides the strike, besides a lot of these things that could be done.
Of course, the strike could help, but I'm thinking like, what's the next? It's all about solutions. So, what the problem is, what's the solution? So, the problem, of course, cops killing unarmed blacks, social injustice. Our community needs to be uplifted, of course. If anybody I feel like the athletes put any energy into it, is dope, but it's still going to be, at the end of the day, voting, the Senate, things of that nature. So they got to reach. I think they're trying to reach there. That's where the change going to come, right? So I'm like, okay, they got to change laws, police reform, things of that nature, and just trying to hold cops accountable. New systems, new technology, of course. Investing in, of course, body cams, or investing in new tasers that can help in crazy situations. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, every cop is this. You get called in for the most craziest things every single day. So you can imagine what they do to your dome every day. You know what I'm saying? Your mental state. You dealing with messed up situations, and your mind is just, there's no excuse. I'm not putting excuses for that, but you sign up for what you want to do, right? But at the same time, it's like, people, they need more training. Personally, I feel they need to at least have an associate's degree in something, taking psych classes, taking those things. But you're dealing with trauma every day. You're dealing with the worst. You're getting called for the worst situation, and it's like, It's like you got to figure out to have your real mental right. You know, if you come in there already jacked up from doing something the night before, people getting killed or whatever. You come in the next day, you already pissed. You pull somebody over, they cussing you out. You automatically on edge. Everybody's different. Everybody can't take certain things. So when I get into the athletes, yes, do anything you can. If that means donating to the community, that means like what LeBron's doing with the voting thing at Dodger Stadium, which is going to be, you know how hard it is to get over there in that traffic. But anyway, that's the whole thing. I think the voting, we got to get to the Senate. We have to, get to the Senate and get these laws changed, man. Laws got to get changed. Stuff got to get changed. That's the key to me. I feel like we can do all the protesting things. We can do that. If they don't change them laws, it's going to continue to happen. If they don't get another police reform, it's going to happen again. And it's going to get people, the reaction is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. More people are going to get hurt. Innocent people.
Yeah, man, and that's and I think that's too, like you said, too important. Like you said, associate degree. Like you said, I said the joke, and like you said, the whole joke that who said it takes more longer to cut a nigga head than shoot a nigga. Like there does need to be something associates. Like you said, I think it needs to go further than that. I think six months is way too short. But I think even an associate degree is kind of short. Like I mean, we both have bachelor's, a bachelor's degrees plus.
Yeah.
So it's like it needs to be at least a 4-year. Like I would say, like service 4 years, because I'm, like I just look at this aspect of it. Like, okay, let's just be like a perspective thing from there. Like, it take 4 years to get a bachelor, 4 to 5 years to get a bachelor's degree. It should take you 4 or 5 years to be a full-fledged cop. I mean, there should be, like how teachers got to do shit in the classroom. Well, you need to be able to go out and be a cop without a fucking gun. You know what I'm saying? Like your third, fourth year, and just work on communication and social skills. And then on top of that, it's like I'm also looking at type of things too. I've been training in martial arts and been training all my life. It takes 3 to 6 years to get a fucking judo black belt. They need to instill some real form of fucking self-defense and hands-on type of shit to actually be able to do shit like, because to be honest, most situations with a regular person, you do not need a motherfucking gun. If you know what I'm saying, unless somebody's shooting or let's go in and shit like that, you don't need to pull a taser. If somebody is fucking acting stupid, it's easy. Take them down. You put, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to put no knee on whether you can fucking just put your small weight and another guy handcuff and there you go. It don't take all that fucking resistance for somebody who's well trained and proficient to be able to go in from there. And then if they are, and then when they do have that well trained and that well proficient, okay, it's like, okay, and you see somebody get killed. It ain't no accidents. You know how to kill somebody. So now you get charged with manslaughter or second or first degree murder. So it ain't no fucking excuses of why, oh man, it took 5, 6. No, if you've been training and if you've been taking these psych evaluations, if you've been working on your communication, social, you've been out on that, the accident rate should be way fucking lower. Like you look at so many other countries that don't have fucking guns, that don't have a lot of problems, and then we have all of these fucking. And now I'm not saying they don't have other issues in other countries against racism, because racism is worldwide, especially against black people that look like us. Let's keep that. I'm not trying to deny that or nothing like that. But a lot of these fat fucking slob ass cops that don't do shit, that don't fucking want to work shit, they literally collecting. And I'm keeping it up because a lot of people say, oh, cops. Nah, man, LAPD, a lot of these LAPD cops are making over $125,000 a year with overtime. Easy. They coming out of the academy making $80,000, $90,000 with, where the fuck you gonna find that at? So you finding
not without a degree.
You finding some no skilled. You finding, and then on top of that, you're not deciphering them out. So you giving a lot of low skilled, racist motherfuckers the license to kill black people and get paid well for it. That's the real problem with you giving a whole bunch of low skilled motherfuckers the capability of making a lot of motherfucking money, making upper middle class money, and then they give a license to kill people that they don't like or situation like we look at a lot of these situations with Brianna and a lot like this, like why do you have to shoot a young black woman? Like like, or any woman in period, to be able to like restrain them, unless they're not unless there's some trained fucking assassin or killer or been ex-military shit like that. Why do you have to go to the extremes with a woman? That's the reason why those motherfuckers need to be killed. You're killing a woman. Like and it's multiple, and it wasn't a one shot accident discharge. It was multiple shots being rained off. There's no fucking excuses for that type of shit. Like, you just look at the type of shit that has been going on, and I want to get onto that shit because I don't agree on there too. And Tamika Mallory's doing an event out there. I don't know if you heard about that. I don't agree with that shit either. Like, they just need to. We all as a community need to work on a lot of shit. But back to the ball players, like, they have to do better with joining up to get their message heard and to do the representation that they're trying to do for black people. You got anything else, like, you know what I'm saying, you kind of just want to add on that, man?
Oh, for sure, man. It's just people are fed up, man. It's like sickening, you know what I'm saying? It makes you sick to your stomach, and it's like people are defending it. Oh, he had the past, and we're not arguing. We are arguing Jacob Blake's past. We're not arguing what he did. That it's just him getting shot 7 times with his kids in the car. That ain't got nothing to do with he did this here criminal. Okay, we get that. We get George Floyd was on some other stuff. We get that, but killing them, that's not your job. The job is protect and serve, right? The job is protect and serve. Let the court go through that and judge him on that. You take him in alive. You don't have to shoot him. He's not physically threatening your life. And again, I'm gonna say this too. We have to comply with the police. I get that. I totally 100% agree with that. We got to comply. We say do this. Okay, we're gonna do it. You know, we gotta quit. Also, you know, we're born and raised with a stigma of like, man, hate the fuck the police, whatever. We automatically got an attitude as soon as something happens. You know what I'm saying? So if they come up, we already got an attitude. We mugging or whatever from jump. And we have to, you know, we got to comply. I get that. But at the same time, there's no excuse. Killing Breonna said, you pulling the trigger 7 times. 7 times. You know what I'm saying? That's you trying to kill somebody. I'm saying 1, 2, okay, but how? 7, you pulling triggers, your trigger finger that bad? That's what I'm like 7 times? Come on, man. Ain't no excuse, bro.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like you said, it's just none of this shit adds up, and everybody, and like you said, all the racist motherfuckers that are, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Basically, for trying to validate this shit. Like I tell people all the time, like us, you know what I'm saying, growing up in the country and in the South, you know, like one thing that we were always raised about and like understanding known of, that there's a lot of racist ass motherfuckers running around. Because a lot of our neighbors, a lot of motherfuckers we went to school with was racist as a motherfucker. Their parents was on some white supremacy shit. Their grandfathers was in the because a lot of people don't know West Tennessee is the fucking foundation of the motherfucking KKK. So half of the motherfuckers we grew up with, their grandfathers was out there fucking burning fucking crosses and doing all that shit. So we grew up on that. Like, I'm just being transparent. I've always known that a lot of this shit like that. And when I always talk about equity, man, I'm always been very sensible about this shit, man. And this is the reason why people always said that, hey, sports was at least the one place that you were able to like really truly show what the best of the best was. And that's like the issues is that when we look at police brutality and we look at like how the black man is portrayed in fucking America, like it doesn't make any fucking sense why we are getting shot the way that we're shot. When we look at if you look at just the microscope, there's only 44 million fucking black people in here. And I guarantee most people, when it comes to the best of the best of any fucking thing you want to do, science, math, sports, acting, music, whatever, black people, for most people, are at the top of all of those form of creations in fucking America. It doesn't matter. Like, there's whatever you fucking, you know, you got the Hidden Figures type situations. You have, you know what I'm saying, thespians, or like, you know what I'm saying, Juilliard. The top of the top on everything is black people. So out of 44 million, I guarantee even some of the most racist motherfuckers, the best of the best you're gonna fucking be naming is black people, because a lot of us, we've been taught how to be the best just to survive. So if you have a people who've been taught to be the best of the best just to survive, Why are you fucking shooting people who are literally trying to survive in the best form of plastic by trying to uphold your racist fucking laws and discrimination? Like, we've been accustomed with this shit. We've been accustomed to do standardized testing and try to do our best in some shit like that. We're racist. Where a lot of us would be best to be the best athletes so we can make a couple $1 million to get our mama out of the hood, or get a scholarship in academics to go to whatever shit, or to do whatever. Even with the jobs you have now, like we have now, these are like unpeculiar jobs for black men that we have a low representation in. Me in public policy, you in nursing. So that is some shit that just we're not taught to be excelling in. So when you just look at a lot of that shit, man, like, it doesn't make any excuse to. And like I said, I understand that we're all not perfect. But if you look at the criminal statistics, there's way more fucking white criminals than there are black criminals in this country. And that's another motherfucking thing that they do not, like, this media just lies about a lot of shit. Like, there's way more white criminals. There are way more fucking poor ass white people milking the system. There's way more white people doing a lot of this shit. So, I mean, technically, cops, y'all should always be trying to shoot white people if you look at the statistics. And I'm not just condoning killings and shooting or whatever. But, like, the paradox is like, if you look at what actual hard data shows, it's showing that there's way more fuckery in white in the white population than there is everywhere else. But you're shooting and killing us. And it just doesn't make sense. And that's why I always said, like, none of these shootings, none of these killings, none of this shit is justified. So when I see the NBA players say all this, and I see motherfuckers like Kobe Covington of the UFC, who got his ass beat by Marty, and fuck you, and I hope fucking Tyron Woodley beats your ass, saying LeBron ain't shit, and they weak as fuck for striking and all this shit like that. So you got these Trump supporter athletes too. They're fucking are trying to come out and bash it and shit. And Brian Urlacher, fuck you too. Like, you gotta realize that, first of all, look at the color of your motherfucking skin. Second of all, look at opposite who you made your money with. And then look at what the fuck you got the audacity to say. So both of y'all made y'all most money with black people fighting or fucking playing football with. So for you to even say some stupid shit like that, you wouldn't have half of the money. Brian Urlacher, yeah, you was good and shit, but if you didn't have fucking Lance playing with you, do you think you would have had as many fucking tackles as you would have had? Let's keep it real, man. Like, you have played with some of the best defensive fucking players ever. So they a large pocket of your wealth. You know, and they don't want to admit shit like that. So when you have the audacity of saying a lot of this fucked up shit, you have to look at who are you making your money and what's the reason of a lot of your progress too. But these motherfuckers don't want to say this shit. And this is why a lot of this shit, because there isn't an honesty with none of the shit that is going on. And when I see guys like Kenny Smith walk out in solidarity of it, I applaud him for that, and I don't judge like nobody else for that shit, because that was everything that's going on. Nobody has a prediction, and nobody knows what's gonna go on moving forward with this shit. So when everybody making decisions, we can't judge anybody else. Like, I'm not gonna judge nobody who's not gonna protest or who's black, because I don't know their situation, and it's not my job to judge another man anyway, especially another black man. It is what it is. They can have whatever they have. A lot of these people, they're trying to feed other people, and I get sometimes they're pressuring, and they don't have the information. People got to realize, like, a lot of these athletes are getting social advocacy training on the job, so they're having to learn and speak about shit on the job. Like, people were bashing LeBron for reading the autobiography. Someone said, should have already read that shit in high school? I said, LeBron went to a Catholic white school. When the fuck was he gonna read the autobiography of Malcolm X?
He went straight to the league. It wasn't like he was college or anything like that. So, yeah, man. People go nitpick every little thing. You can't even put a book you read. You know, people always gonna have something to say, bro. Negative trolls, bro. And it's kind of like the new norm. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that clap back, you know, with that. And I salute LeBron. I salute all the players. Anybody who's trying to do something, you won't see me debate, oh, you should do this, especially if I'm doing less. I can't really. I ain't gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let them do their thing, and I'm gonna support them. They gonna get my support regardless. You trying to make a change? I'm with you. You know, I'm not gonna troll you. I'm not saying you should do this or do that. If you can say that, well, why I'm not doing it? You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people that, man. If you doing less, man, just be quiet, bro. If you want to do something, get up and do it. We're gonna make change. How we gonna do it? What's the plan? What's the solution? You can complain all day, but what you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to get to. Like if we can all just work towards doing something, it's gonna happen. It's coming. And I've been telling people that. I said we waking up and we figuring this shit out. Like yo, this ain't finna happen. We finna make stuff change. We finna be on everybody. We will be on the same level. Like quit downplaying us, bro.
Yeah, and I mean that's if that's what, like I said, comes from this is like we have to lose a lot to gain more with this shit. I was telling somebody shit, man, we gotta go a year without the NBA or we gotta go a year without MLB or shit. I don't want it, but fuck, like it's just at the point now where it's like something has to fucking change. Like it
I'm gotta
like
give.
because like in my opinion, sometimes with this and as much as I've been enjoying these games in the bubble and a lot of this stuff, I also feel like that some of these races is like, oh well, we're distracting the niggers right now because they got sports going, so they're not paying attention to
Yep.
it, and that's how they try to make it feel. So when they come in and something like this abrupt happens, they go, oh, y'all making a big deal out of nothing. No, it's a continuation of it. Like they destroyed this whole country just 3-4 months ago over this shit, raiding stores, looting, doing shit else. And I guess, and I told you before, like it is what it is. And sports was controlling and was a. This is the reason why the numbers have been down on COVID in some areas because people are in the house watching sports. So I mean, there has been pluses and minuses of it. So if our so-called commander in chief can't appreciate what the athletes are doing and how they're technically helping him do the shit job that he's doing anyway, do a little better, then you shouldn't come out and criticize LeBron and doing a lot of this shit. And I said this shit before, and I said this on there. If you really want to just be transparent and be honest, a lot of the white NBA players have been the most vocal on it. Kyle Korver and JJ
Mm-hmm.
Redick. JJ Redick was
Yep.
talking about Black Lives Matter almost on every episode of his podcast. But
Yep.
but nobody wants to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to say that shit.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, bro. Right on with that, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a change, man. 2020 has been it's been rough, bro. It's been rough. We're gonna get through it. I've been telling people we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. We gotta hit them polls. We gotta vote. We gotta do everything. We got this is a really important year, man. Really important year.
Yeah, and
To make some changes.
that is true. And like you said, just last, like you said, just kind of want to go into like you know, I'm not telling nobody how to whatever, but you do want to pay attention to legislation and you want to pay attention to organizing efforts that's going on in your community. You want to make sure you can put money into us as black people. We want to make sure that we start doing a communion based effort to put money in each other and drop things and do a lot of different type of work. So whether it's come from us, like you said, organizing, or us putting in money together, us feeding, clothing, doing backpack services, whatever else, helping out, assisting the sports, like you said, LeBron doing our voting based efforts, whatever it is in your community, your local community. If you see anything doing where it's pertaining to the athletes or actors or entertainers or even social, political people, try to do what you feel best to do it. But don't be sitting on the couch and
Mm.
just running your mouth saying they ain't doing shit or they cowards or whatever
Yeah,
shit like that.
yeah, yeah. Sit
Because
on the couch. I seen dude, you know what I'm saying, talking about all LeBron no weak here. I'm like, bro, you on the couch. You're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So I ignore it anyway, but it's like it just gets frustrating, bro. But it's gonna be it is. We gonna make a change. We gonna fix it though. We gonna fix it.
yeah, man, like you said, we are gonna fix it, man, and just a lot of these things that are gonna get better. Like you said, also too, I just want to thank everybody for this time. Sorry, this isn't a more joyful, plentiful episode, but hopefully we can get about those
We'll get
things.
back.
But
We'll, we'll get back. We'll get back on it. We'll get back on our funny ish. We're gonna get back on it, y'all. Don't worry.
yeah, man, we'll get back on it. And I mean, probably we try not to get we try to Vixen and variety. We trying to give y'all everything, man, on these episodes. So we just want to appreciate everybody who's been subscribing on YouTube, and also everyone who has been putting everything effort on streaming. getting our numbers up. Our numbers have been improving dramatically. Been doing well international, so everybody international, appreciate y'all too. Gracias, because we get a lot of Spanish things. One day I'm gonna have to do like a 10-minute bit in Spanish. That'd be fun. But yeah, everybody, man, thank you for Two Country Boys in Cali. We are out. Quentin, you want to say peace out?
Man, peace out, man. All right, man. Go out there and vote, make change. Let's do it. Let's fix this, y'all. See y'all next time.
All right. Peace.
All right.